Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second semi-final game of the Oceanic University Championships. If you guys are just joining in now, we just finished the first semi-final, which New Zealand Team Dream just took the first victory, which means they're going to be playing in the finals at Riot Studio for the championship. But we are in the second game now to figure out who else will be taking on Team Dream in the finals, and it is between New South Wales and Monash University, sorry. And Lon will be my co-caster, and I am Shenang. And Lon, we'll just be jumping into the pick and bans now. What are your thoughts so far? Lon, you seem to be...
Yeah. Okay, so, sorry, I was just talking about the Yasuo and Thresh bans. These are all clearly targeted bans. These aren't the generic sort of bans you see in the current patch at all, except for maybe Yasuo, who's kind of made a bit of a resurgence with the slow death of the tank meta.
Right. Now, we do see an Anivia ban as well. Do you reckon that's a target ban? Or this just happens to be something that they don't want to play against?
Yeah, I mean... Again, I don't know too much about these teams and what they play. Now, Skarner, I understand. Skarner apparently has some stupid, ridiculous win rate currently after the rework, like some ridiculous 60% win rate. So I can see maybe wanting to take, the Crystal Vanguard off the field.
Yeah, a lot of players have been picking that up recently because of how strong he can get when he's around his passive. And also, just to give you guys watching in the stream a little bit of background, we did watch and cast New South Wales games a couple of days ago, and they are probably the favourite going into this matchup right now. But that being said, we don't know too much about Monash, but they are the second seed coming in from bracket A though. And we do get the lock-in from Siva, and Brom and Diana Hovard.
I mean, favorites, it's important to note who's the favorite, but at the same time, this is, that doesn't really matter that much. It's just 3 games, right? 3 to 5 games, I guess it is. No, 3 games. Best of 3, right?
Yep, best of 3.
Yep. Right, it's 3 games in between these teams and flying out to Sydney. Now, the UNSW boys, it's probably not that big of a trip, but I'm sure it means just as much to them. Now, I just want to say, I really like the Siva first pick.
Yep, you're a big fan? Big fan of Siva?
I'm a big fan of Siva, and, I think it makes a lot of sense. These teams have obviously played each other and scrimmed each other a fair bit, and I imagine, as often happens within groups that play each other, a specific sort of meta tends to develop. Even over the course of a tournament, you'll see a meta develop if you watch for it. And Siva probably features pretty heavily in the New South Wales meta, I would imagine.
Yeah, and in bracket B also, we've noticed a slight trend towards Diana as well, so we actually do see her popping out quite frequently in this tournament, just like you mentioned, just from tournament metas.
Well, that's right.
And yeah, we get the Rek'Sai and the Morgana locked in, which, I guess Morgana, do you reckon that's going to be the mid lane or be support for Siva?
It must be support, it must be. This is kind of reminiscent, actually, of when EDG rolled out the anti-LeBlanc comp against Faker. They ran Siva and Morgana. Well, it was mid Morgana, specifically for the purpose that LeBlanc could have nothing to target. And that same logic kind of applies here to Diana. Granted, it looks. I mean, I don't know if that's jungle Diana, top mid. Diana's pretty versatile. I don't actually like the first picking of Diana and Braum, by the way, the early picking of them. While look, Braum's a great champion, so's Diana. Braum actually pretty heavily contested lately. I mean, you're giving up things like Rek'Sai, Gragas, Azir, Echo. There's so much cool stuff out there that's so strong right now that maybe could miss Fortune.
I have not seen that. Well, actually, we were discussing placeholders before. Are there any placeholders in this particular game to your knowledge on?
I don't actually know. I know they were talking about it, but I don't know if they went through with it. Unfortunately, I was busy trying to get myself ready and, wasn't monitoring player chat too much. Look, I think that's pretty likely, unless they know something I don't. Because Miss Fortune... Okay, she's kind of cool in lane against Sivir. Oh, Sivir can spell shield the Q. It doesn't really matter that much. She's still such a bully in lane. I'm not sure about this, to be honest. I don't like AD carries with a lack of mobility, with the possible exception of Ashe, because she kind of has a different role.
Yep.
This kind of feels almost like a shock and awe comp, actually, with the Diana, the Sejuani, and the Misfortune. You just come in, big damage right off the bat.
I've got a glitch on my game, unfortunately. I think that's Cho'Gath being locked in as the final pick on side of New South Wales.
It looks like he's disconnected a little bit, but I mean, Cho'Gath, he's actually a lot stronger than people think. I mean, he's got solid wave clear, good sustain. He's got decent burst potential. I'm not really 100% sold on it, but it's actually pretty strong. But it feels like a bit of an odd pick, maybe without seeing your opposing top laner first. So it may be a placeholder. I'm not sure.
It could be like utilizing some of the new items that are in this patch. Remember, we do have that new Tiamat item that builds with Giant's Belt. That goes pretty well.
Yeah, that's true. And we may actually see Dead Man's Plate onto the Hecarim as well.
Yes.
But that's interesting. So, is that mid Hecarim?
It's possible that it's mid Cho'Gath, and
yeah, it probably is mid Cho'Gath instead of mid Hecarim. I actually think they're better. Looks like it was actually some sort of placeholder. I suspect, because they just got out of the game. So all will be revealed in just a moment.
Yep. We'll have to, again, I guess we can kind of try and speculate what type of picks they wanted, and we should probably just ask them and see if it was a placeholder thing, or because we did see that disconnect icon pop up on Cho'Gath, so maybe it was having a bit of a glitch in his champ select. Yep, MF
okay, so MF is a placeholder and someone DC'd. Okay, and Cho is Victor. It all makes sudden sense. I like it. Alright. I like the Victor pick a lot, actually. Victor's an animal. He's so good at both mid to long range. The amount of damage you can do with the Q auto combo, it just, it hurts so much.
Yeah, suddenly New South Wales team comp looks pretty scary once you put that Victor in that lineup, along with Hecarim. And on the other side, though, that Misfortune is a Jinx, so they're looking to go for that hyper carry late game.
Well, yeah, and Braum is there to bodyguard her, obviously, but okay, so they have opted for a team fighting comp, all right? With Sedge, Diana, even Braum. Braum obviously more defensive than aggressive, but you can make plays with him, obviously. But my concern is that they're gonna get blown out of the water. Actually, this game, that's my concern. Why did Shen get locked in?
It was the last pick.
It was actually the last pick?
Yes, it was the last pick.
Alright, that makes a lot more sense. Alright, okay, so I'm just a little concerned that because they took the early Braum when they were choosing, they gave up so much good stuff. Like Rek'Sai, Hecarim. Look at these picks, right?
Yep.
Hecarim, Rek'Sai, Victor, Sivir. These are all huge priority picks versus maybe Shen, Braum priority picks. Now Sejuani, people have kind of gotten off the Sejuani hype train.
Why is that, you think?
Okay, the issue is that she's super tanky, right? And she came up when the tank meta came up. She first became popular when the tank meta was being born. But the concern was, compared to say Gragas, compared to say Rek'Sai, for example, even like jungle Hecarim, jungle Olaf, for example, she's so easy to stop. Okay, granted, she's got this great AoE engage, it's gorgeous, you can stun a whole team, but what happened was everyone else was also running tanks, so you'd ult and the enemy like Gragas or Nunu or whoever would just eat the ult and not care.
Yeah.
Not to mention they're dealing with a double spell shield comp and Sivir, so if and Sivir ult, I mean, obviously spell shield one of the spell shields comes from Sivir. So if they choose to disengage, the New South Wales guys, wait, which side is blue team?
Blue team is New South Wales and Monash is red team.
Alright, I was right, but then I read the way that what the game is called and it's around the other way and I started doubting myself. Okay, I just really like their ability to create picks whenever they want to, or disengage from fights whenever they want to.
Yep.
On the other side, though, Monash can be looking to make some really cool plays with the Shen ult. It synergizes pretty well with things like the Braum Jinx lane, because Braum Jinx has quite a lot of lockdown, so you have time for Shen to get down there.
Yep. We do see them picking a double TP comp though, so Diana actually can go down to that lane pretty quickly with the TP. She's becoming quite popular as well because you can start, I believe since they're red side, she'll most likely go to the chickens and level up W and get the really early level 2 and then TP back to lane as well.
I agree. I really like the double TP just to mix things up. I mean, UNSW, I think Phonezone is the name of the team. I'm not gonna be expecting this at all. Not to mention you can make so many cool plays with it, and running teleport with a global ultimate as well. Like for a little while, people used to play top Rek'Sai. I'm a big fan of it, and it has some of the same strengths as Shen in that you can alt bot TP back top, so you can go gank somewhere, not miss any CS. Right? You have so many ways to get around the map. This suggests to me that Monash are looking to play a weird sort of macro game. You might think, oh, double TP, they're looking for lots and lots of towers. That's probably not the case, because when you want to take a tower, you set up a lane push and then go, teleport somewhere or go wherever. That much TP, I actually think they're going to just try and use it for lots of cool, sick flank fights in the jungle.
Yeah, most likely, but it all comes down to whether or not Bomboy can put some deep vision down, and as well as Kenny G as well. It depends on how much map control they have if they're able to set those up, to be honest.
Yeah. I have to wonder, is Bomboy like some Bunny Fufu Mad Life-esque Thresh god that they felt the need to just straight up ban it, right? Like, they're even playing Morgana, who is not like the greatest, she's not the greatest Thresh counter, but she's pretty good. Like, I don't understand what they're so afraid of. Like, do I need to look up on YouTube for like Bomboy, like, sick blind hook montages or something? Because I don't get it. But again, I've never played against either of these teams, so I guess they know more than I do.
Yeah, Toasties though on TPZ Team Phonezone is quite the beast. He was having a great series of games yesterday on that Fizz. So we'll see what he can do on Hecarim.
That makes a lot of sense. Particularly with the kind of comp like this. Okay, so it makes a lot of sense to put your carry top laner on Hecarim, because Hecarim, again, he's sort of falling out of favor a little bit against things like, compared to things like Maokai, Rumble, even Gnar is still probably a little bit more popular than Hecarim. But I have to think, if you're saying to yourselves, we're going to put money or gold into the top side of the map, we're going to try and make this a game where our boy Toasties can carry. Hecarim's not a bad pick. If you're expecting Hecarim to win lane like pretty heavily, I mean, okay, let me rephrase. If you're expecting your top laner to win heavily, Hecarim's a good pick. And the ability to dive from Hecarim Rek'Sai is pretty fun. Should be interesting to watch.
We do have, like, he'll have so much mobility as well, especially with that on the hunt from Sivir, so he can do some crazy sick TP home guard plays as well.
I refuse to predict the outcome of this game here at Champ Select, but I will predict one thing. This is gonna be a bloodbath. Mark my words.
It's gonna be an exciting match, definitely, Lon.
Well, yeah, all of these like semi-pro teams usually are quite the games tend to be pretty violent because they love to fight. But on top of that, these team comps are really weirdly opposed.
Yeah, we did get pretty early invade coming in from Monash over here, and then I guess TPZ are looking to retaliate for their own invade, setting up some visions to check for any possible lane swaps as well. Jinx is off by herself though.
Okay, so the reason Monash would have gone for that invade is because, believe it or not, you actually want to swap Sivir away from Jinx in a lot of scenarios.
Yeah.
Sivir can trade early pretty well with the burst from her QW, but once you both have BF sword, it's just not even close. Jinx will crush you.
Right.
And Sivir has to land Qs to trade at the same range as Jinx's autos. So once they both have a little bit of AD, it's really, really difficult. But it looks like they're actually going to be the ones doing the swap. So maybe not even that. Maybe they're looking at this a different way than I am. Maybe they're saying to themselves, we want Jinx to carry. We want him to be in the safest lane as possible. Let's go check if they're swapping, and that way we can keep her safe and sound up in top lane against Hecarim, who we want to shut down anyway.
Mm-hmm. But actually, TPZ actually see the swap, so they're going to go and match the lane, which you were saying probably not favorable for Sivir.
No, it's not. But again, I don't know how these players particularly match up. Maybe Alid, I believe it is a farm monster. Maybe he doesn't want to have to deal with a 2v2. And also, keep in mind, right? Again, part of it is the Hecarim. If you can just, it's no secret that Toasties is a big threat.
Yep.
Right? So if you can shut down the Hecarim who's running no flash, by the way, just ignite teleport. So if you can lane swap into him, that's ideal. So, I mean, it makes certain sense from UNSW Phonezone, even if I personally wouldn't want to have to put Sivir up against Jinx.
You see that Monash are hovering around in that top side jungle, so I don't know if we're going to get any action in that top lane. They're pretty...
Oh, we're going to get action, but it's coming in the form of Rek'Sai about to get murdered. Rek'Sai, who can't see those wards while he's, even if they were pinks, right? While he's under the ground. But that doesn't matter, I'm just getting ahead of myself. Come on, run into each other! So close!
The game is so tense right now because everyone's kind of just running past each other. And,
Well, they know. You can see the pings coming out, they know.
Yeah, they see him. Really doing Louis. He's gonna get knocked up. He's gonna go through the wall. Nothing gonna come out of it. They refuse to dive that, although he's so low. And, yep.
I was gonna say, level 2 Shen dive, I feel like I'm back in bronze.
Dear. But, yeah, everyone kind of just chillaxing. We do get Toasties having a little stroll, farming down there in that bot lane. In mid lane, somewhat going in towards Diana's favor there. Just a little bit more CS. But is that how that matchup is expected to go?
Probably till first back. I mean, obviously Diana has a lot more kill pressure after 6, but you can already see that in order to keep up in farm, or stay ahead in farm, she's had to use a lot of mana. Victor actually has a bit more mana, available to him because of the Hex Core. It's only 40, but still. I think we will see Victor start out CSing Diana after first buy. Now, just real quick to talk about the lane swap for a second again.
Yep.
Now, it actually wasn't a major success from Monash, which I'm sorry to say. See, they knew that they themselves were going to be swapping, right? So they were expecting, even though they put wards down, they were still expecting to get the swap off successfully. Because that didn't happen, right? So Hecarim went bot, right? Hecarim got a whole bunch of free farm uncontested while Shen was still running around in the jungle. Oh, the gank.
Oh, nothing coming out of it though.
Nope. So because they... Oh, man.
Oh, getting action in the top lane though. Just the trades though. I don't think anything is going to come out of it. Both teams just poking each other out.
Stop fighting. I'm trying to talk about strategy, damn it.
It's like we were in the qualifiers. I mean, the preliminary qualifiers all over again, Lon. They didn't want you to talk.
Exactly. And that's okay. That's okay. We're here to see fun games anyway. Anyway, so what I was talking about, because Hecarim went bot, right? Because they knew the swap was coming, and they countered it, okay? While Shen was expecting to have to lane against 2 people, right? So he went into the jungle with Sejuani, with Chenny G, right? To get the farm, get the gold, because he wasn't expecting to be able to farm much for the first few levels because it was going to be a 2v1. Because it wasn't a 2v1, Hecarim got the first couple minutes of free farm and now has a significant lead in CS over Shen.
Yeah. I must say I don't have too much knowledge on lane swapping because there's so many different variables that you got to consider. So Long, would you explain to everybody else what other benefits could have possibly happened for Monash if that was successful?
Okay, if it was successful, so Hecarim goes to lane, and he turns up and he's laning against 2 people. Hecarim is extremely farm dependent. He can't go in and melee farm against Jinx Braum. They're just going to turn him into mincemeat. They're going to turn him into glue, alright? because he's a horse, you see. Anyway.
Right, of course.
Anyway, right. Hold on, I'll hold that thought while Chenny G clears this ward. So, you know, the idea being is they send you know, if that was the case, right, Hecarim wouldn't be able to farm. You get maybe 3 CS out of the first 10. Okay, while across the map, Shen expecting to go in the 2v2, he's not dealing with that. He just follows the jungler around, gets a little bit of free jungle XP and gold, which means that he comes back to lane level 2 or level 3, meaning that he's in a position where he can safely farm with his Q or something like that if he is 2v1.
Yeah, right.
Okay, generally you lane swap for one of 3 reasons, right? Get your AD carry ahead, take early towers, or get your top laner ahead. In this case, in this case, Monash were trying to get their top laner ahead, or I guess more accurately, make sure Toasties was behind.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out. However, he's only that 10 CS behind, which, I mean, look, at the end of the day, it adds up. It really does. We've all been there. You have to back, and you're like 150 gold off of an item. It's the worst feeling in the world.
We see Chenny in that, like, camping that top lane pretty heavily. He's been sitting there for quite some time, so I don't know if that was the best use of his time, to be honest.
No, I think he was afraid of the gank, because again, they're putting so much into Jinx this game. It's really important that Jinx cleans up the fights after that initial burst from Sejuani Diana. Really important. That's their whole basis of their team fight strategy is based around this. So they're there going, oh, Rek'Sai's got to come up eventually, right? Look how pushed up they're getting. You know, maybe I should hang around. I could try and get a gank or get a counter gank off. But yeah, it's really, Jinx is a real focus, and you can see that in the way the jungler is assigning pressure.
Yeah. Well, I guess, the game's coming kind of slow, to be honest. Everyone's kind of just chillaxing and farming. Not too many trades going on all over the map, but you see a bunch of deep vision coming in from a TPC. Maybe possibly getting ready for a dragon quite early on. Well, not really that early anymore, actually.
This first dragon will be pretty important. Well, no, okay, important isn't the right word. I think we're going to see a lot of kills there. I think the floodgates are just going to break open, everybody's going to die, it's going to be double ace where Dragon kills 2 people or something ridiculous, right? But now, okay, you might think that the sit back and farm style favors Monash, and in some senses it does because of the hyper carry.
Oh, we get a gank in mid lane though, the dodge coming in for Chris, and Diana gets locked up. The Sejuani ult missing, that's what made the gank unsuccessful. Good flash,
well, he did flash it, yeah. And the gravity field proving its worth for Victor. But yeah, so you might think that the chilled out farm game favors Monash, and it does to a degree, but it depends on spikes, right? For example, once Hecarim hits T-Force, Sivir hits IE, Victor hits, I mean, there's a couple of items he could hit. They only realistically need 1 or 2 items to start being really devastating in team fights. So, assuming that they're planning to turn it on in the next 5 or so minutes, I really like this playstyle for Phonezone from UNSW. But if they're unable to get it rolling in the next literally 5 to 10 minutes, it's going to be difficult for them to win the game. They need to start taking towers or getting kills, something on the board, because look, Sivir, she's so good at team fighting, she makes Victor so much better, makes Hecarim better, it's such a good comp.
Look at this bot lane trade though. This one comes out for Shen, but Toasties is gonna chug all them pots to heal himself up, but yeah, in this bot lane they're just kind of slapping each other around.
Yep. Well,
and
they can't kill each other.
Look at the camp coming in top lane too. Chenny's still sitting in this top lane.
Here comes Rek'Sai. The onslaught of shadows.
Oh, nothing coming out of it though. But
doesn't that just suck? Aren't you just like, really? He runs in the same direction after I fear him? Like, Raito, please. Like, seriously? I mean,
well, remember, it's a terrify now, not a fear anymore, Lon. So they will in fact run away from you. So, because there's no such thing as fear anymore, remember?
Yeah, whatever. And everyone plays marksman, not AD carries.
yeah. I feel like every time I say ADC, I feel like Riot's gonna sue me.
Well, they're not. Look, they tried. They tried to make it a thing, right? And then they gave up. Like, not even LCS casters say marksman that much anymore. Like, they tried. They really did. They're like, we want to be as different as possible from the other MOBAs. And people were like, what are you talking about, Riot?
Well. I like their efforts of trying, but, you know, people are going to call things what they want to call them. And what they're used to, I guess. And actually, Shen taking a lot of damage. Toasties to go for the... Now, here we go. A lot of trade coming down. I don't know if he's going to get out of here. First blood to Toasties. There's a solo kill, and now Toasties well and truly ahead in this lane. And we did not want this to happen. Or at least Monash did not want this to happen.
Okay, so Toastie's total gold generated is like 3,800 right now, so he's got a fair bit in the bank. Well, actually, only a few hundred in the bank, just under 1,000. But he's going to be able to get
though, in this mid lane, we did get a gank long, so the ultimate coming up, another ultimate coming up from Brom, a TP coming in. Chris going to take the mega, super mega death rocket, and Toastie's now TP's in. The Victor ultimate giving so much damage. Toastie's going to get locked up though in that start, and as here goes the Morgana ultimate, Shen Horn comes in, but everyone's so low on Monash, they're forced to back out of here. Evils is now joined the fight. The snare comes in. Chen was trying to kill for his team, and Diana jumps into the middle of everyone. He gets a kill as well. Now Evil's in the middle, 4 people, and he's so low. Double kill coming in for Diana. The snare comes in, and what looked like a terrible fight from Monash. They just played it slowly and were able to kite themselves back into that team fight, and now they go for the track.
That death rocket was huge. I really like the way that when the Siva Morgana Rek'Sai cleanup crew came back, they kited back. They were running, but they weren't in total rout. They were just waiting for their cooldowns to come off. And also, Siva got out of position while chasing, and they just, as soon as they turned, she was surrounded on all sides. So that was really well played by Monash.
Yeah, good amount of heal, probably good amount of core saying we can still win this fight. We're just gonna peel back. Play it cool, play it slow, and we should be able to win this team fight. And they get rewarded quite significantly for it too. But actually now Rek'Sai trying to force another gank in this bot lane, and Bomb Boy going for the slow, blocks the snare though. The TP's coming in though from Monash. Derek now in a very bad position. Alan gets a kill, he gets excited. Hudo and Louis forced to run out of there, and I guess a forced gank. They forced it too hard.
This is, Monash have been reacting really well. I talked about how UNSW needed to really turn it on soon. Well, somebody listened to that advice. It wasn't UNSW. So, okay. Right now, again, they're just gonna have to slow things down for the next 5 or so minutes, which is exactly what I said they wouldn't want to do. But there are other spikes, there are other moments when, you know, Rek'Sai, Hecarim will get stronger and stronger. Particularly, they need to just relax and not get killed until Hecarim has that T-Force.
Oh, actually, Diana jumping in onto Chris here, and Chris using that gravity field, getting himself out of there. He's gonna get chunked super low, but didn't have to waste too many resources, so he's gonna be alright there. And actually, in the bot lane, Evils gets spotted. Look at how much damage Shen just did to her, and
how little damage he took in return.
Yeah. So, he's back in this game now. He's got that Sunfire cape. Doing well after that fight. Actually, he goes Taunt Plate again. He does so much damage to Siva, and he gets locked up by the snare. Unfortunately for him, almost solo killing in a 2v1 situation. And actually, meanwhile, in the jungle though, Huey doing Louis to find Diana in that jungle. He's gonna go away to the grub, and now he's in a bad position. Chenny comes in. Oh, he goes over the wall. Diana follows him. Potis comes and uses that ultimate. Chenny G misses the ultimate, but he's still just using it just so teammates can get out of there, and also grab the turret as well. So, I
gotta say, like, swag points for I Will Decimate, like, you know, dashing back over the wall. Like, you know, that must have felt like a big play, right? Like, granted, it wasn't like the most mechanical play of all time. That must have felt good. You're just like, yeah.
Look at how much Monash are getting from this team fight, though. They're getting so much from it. And look at that. Look at how much damage Aled does now on Jinx. He's so strong with that IE.
Yep. He really is. 15, like, he's on track. He's got the 2 kills. He is slightly ahead in CS.
Oh, look at how much damage Diana just did to Chris in that mid lane. Goes for the ultimate. And that is how far ahead she is right now. Unstoppable for I Will Decimate.
Well, keep in mind, right? I Will Decimate with that 5-0 actually has a Nash's tooth, right? At 15 minutes or 16 minutes of the game. That's not a small item, and if you're playing a Snowball Diana, it's a good way to go.
Well, look at this in this spot lane, though. He's going for the 2v1. Actually, Morgana using her ultimate, so he's torn it out there. Morgana, no ultimate anymore.
Here's the thing, the Shen with the Shen pick. Oh, you know what? Talk. They're doing stuff.
Yeah, it's okay for the shot this mid lane. I don't think TPZ have anything to stop this, and they're just gonna walk away with a free turret, and all the teammates kind of in that bot lane and kind of dead as well.
Yep. Again, they need Sivir to get that IE. They need some AP on Victor. Anything will do. Right? Morello's, Death Cap Rush, Luden's, something. It has to be something. But you'll notice, instead, he has actually opted for the Hex Core upgrade. He has the Mark II Hex Core. Which, look, it's not actually a bad item, but it's just flat 60 ability power, 200 mana. It's not like it's... I don't think it was worth the upgrade. I think if he'd opted to save that gold, he would have better items right now.
Okay, so when's the best time to upgrade your Hex Core?
Probably just before or after you're gonna finish Death Cap.
Right.
Generally, because look, the reason, what's cool about Hex Core is it does wind up as quite a lot of ability power and mana at the end, but I don't think it's all that strong early. Though that being said, he did do the right thing. Victor, if he is going to upgrade the Hex Core, he did go for Lucidity Boots, which means that he does add cooldown reduction to that sort of trifecta of stats he's buffing, which is really what he needs. So, I mean, I'm not 100% on it. I think it would make more sense to start work on something else, which he has done with the Needlessly Large Rod. But as cheap as AP items have gotten, I don't think the Hex Core is really that much of a priority. And
Percy's trying to ignore Shen in this top lane to try and get his turret, but he's not going to get anything out of it. And actually now Monash are setting up for Dragon. They do get that Scuttler. That's going to stay up for 75 seconds, so they're going to have the speed boost shrine for the fight. And trying to deny some of this vision for UNSW. But now, look at this. Because Monash know they have this lead, they have the map control now too. Look at all the vision they have.
Look, I mean, you're right, absolutely true. They're swarming the map with vision. They've got this place lit up. But I just want to say one thing.
Oh, actually, we're going to fight bot lane. The ultimate gets shielded though, but Decima gets dead under turret though. 4v2 situation. Shen ultis in.
Here comes Rek'Sai.
Rek'Sai coming in from the back. They're really forcing each other, but they decide to go straight for the dragon.
Watch for the TP home guards, maybe from Hecarim. He was recalling, he has stopped, but you'll notice he has opted for really early home guards, and he wants to make those big teleport plays.
Yep. But there isn't too much where you can teleport to, and...
No. Well, he was hoping to take the tower instead, because, look, at this point, second dragon, while important, look, if you could trade a tower for it, particularly a second tier tower, would be mega worth, right? But, unfortunately, Shen, this is exactly what I was talking about. Too much map control with these summoner spells.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just go anywhere on the map at once and go back into... Oh dear. Oh! Ward coming, he's going to stop Tosis from being... He's going to delay him for a few more seconds, but... Yeah.
At this point in the game, Shen is really nasty. Because of his key strike and the damage from his Q, you noticed before how much damage he was able to trade back on Sivir. And it's because right now, Shen's base damage that just comes from his kit is actually really high. Couple that with a pre-20-minute Sunfire cape. This is, look, he's not being a very good ninja because this is a hard dude to ignore, right?
Yep. One big beefy guy right in your face. Oh dear. But now, what can TPZ do to try and inst themselves back into this game? What do you think they should be trying to do in situations like this one?
Okay, well there's a few options available to them. There's the classic Death Bush. They're actually quite good at it because of the nature of Victor, Rek'Sai, Hecarim, and of course the Sivir ult. So that's always a fun one, but probably not to be advised right now. First thing they need to do is regain vision control of their own jungle. If they can make it a little bit darker on the map for Monash, then they can start using their amazing ability to make picks. I mean, look, sure, you know, the double TP with Shen is a lot of mobility and a lot of ability to map control, but they still have Rek'Sai ult, they still have TP home guards on Hecarim, they've got Sivir. Their ability to get around the map for UNSW isn't bad either. So if they can create picks, that'd be fantastic. Failing that, 5v5 team fight and hope you dodge the Sejuani ult.
Oh, yeah. Do you think it's wise for Sivir to build a QSS for that for the team fight, or rely on the spell shield?
Well, he needs damage really, really heavily right now.
Hmm?
Like Sivir needs damage like drastically. Okay,
Yeah.
more than anything. Okay, people think that when you're ahead is when you build full damage items and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna straight G everybody. It's gonna be a massacre. No, it's when you're super ahead is when you can afford to build defensive items and use them as a crutch. Right now, he's just gonna have to rely on those sick mechanics to spell shield and that sick positioning. Like there's nothing else to it. He has to build damage, otherwise he's not gonna be able to kill anybody. Right now he can't hurt Diana. It'll take him like 35 seconds to kill Diana.
Oh, actually,
Diana
Toast is going
back.
for the outplay in his top lane though, Lon. He uses the ultimate, but Shen using the safety of the turret, he should be okay. Toast is actually farming in his bot lane though. Monash are pressuring this turret super hard. They really want to take this, and yeah, 2 fights happening across maps. And I guess the 2 top laners are kind of just, you're gonna chillax now. Kind of just traded all the kills, but Toasty's almost got the solo kill.
He did. It was real close. Here's the thing for Monash, right? Jinx sieges extremely well. Rom sieges quite well, okay? But they can't actually make real proper siege attempts while Shen is across the map and still low. Because the fact of the matter is, Victor, Sivir, even like the Rek'Sai and Hecarim to a degree, and the Morg to a degree, not really. Point I'm making is excellent wave clear on the side of UNSW. So if Monash want to make plays around towers, they either need to catch somebody or they need to make a dive. Fortunately for them, they're really well set up to dive. As long as Shen has ult and isn't half dead like he was just then, they could have dived that tower and gotten away with it really easily. Assuming they land a few certain abilities, obviously. But yeah, I don't think they can siege very easily, which is a good thing for UNSW. The problem is, as soon as UNSW step out from that, it's like the Lion King, right? Like everything like protected by towers is your kingdom. Those dark places, you must never go there. Because they're just gonna get murdered by Diana. It's gonna seem like she's in 3 places at once unless they can get a bit more ward control, or at least get rid of some of the vision from Monash.
Right, good. I like the link to Lion King. Good analogy. Everyone's painted a nice picture for everybody, Lon. Good job.
I'm trying to have a bit more fun than I usually do today, so
It's alright.
Making bad jokes and such.
It's alright. We're getting viewers from everywhere today, so some people might find it is a bit late now, getting a little bit tired, and some people just waking up, I guess, in some situations. But yeah, in this top lane, Toasty is really bullying Jen in this top lane. Okay, can you tell me how to pronounce his name before I butcher it, just in case, you know?
Who?
Do you remember? I'm terrible at names. Remember?
Alright, who am I talking about? Like Hecarim?
Shen.
Shen. Oh, what do you mean? Cute nectarine?
Yeah. Okay. Just in case I say it badly. Oh, good. Thank you, Rod.
And you're sure English is your first language?
Yes.
Okay, because I've seen you, and you're not particularly white.
Oh yeah, I'm very Asian. It's just I was born in this country, so English is my first language. Just I'm not very good at it, you know. I'm an engineer.
Okay, but you know what a nectarine is, right?
Sure.
You don't know what a nectarine is.
No.
It's a fruit.
Yeah, I know now then.
Alright, okay, whatever. Look, anyway, so Derek clears some wards as, I stare incredulously at my monitor pretending it's you. More importantly, that dragon, it looks like they're taking it.
Yeah, so I don't think DPC are in position to contest it, to be honest. So they're probably going to run away with a 3rd dragon, which actually is quite useful to them, because now they get that movement speed boost. And
it's huge, actually.
Yeah, because now that Sivir ult is not going to be just as useful as it was 1 dragon ago.
That's true, exactly. Not to mention it moves them 1 step closer to that elusive 5 dragons victory. And you'll notice that they've got Baron. Monash have got Baron up there locked up like Fort Knox. Like they really like don't want to have to have UNSW sneak a surprise Baron on them. Because look, that is actually a way back into the game. If you can just, catch somebody, or particularly if it's Shen or Diana, catch somebody, or just, maybe a brief window while they don't have any vision, you get that Baron. And suddenly Rek'Sai is really, really problematic. Suddenly Hecarim is really, really problematic. Because they're so good at split pushing, right? Only Shen can 1v1 Hecarim, and even then you can't kill him anymore. And then Rek'Sai can just run around the map, doing whatever she wants. So with that Baron buff. So they'd be able to push the waves really obnoxiously, and it'd stall out the game and nothing else for ages. On the other end of the spectrum, Jinx Braum equals fast dragon taking.
Yeah.
Same
do you
with
think
Diana, the Nash's two. Yes, go on.
Right. I was wondering, do you think it's better for Monash to play it slow and just, I guess, slowly win their way through turret pushing and things like that, or try and force them?
There's literally no reason not to. Eventually, Sivir will just turn into that scuttle crab where all she does is a little bit of damage and provides ward. Did he just snipe that? Did he get that with the laser?
No, unfortunately he didn't.
Disappointing.
Close though.
So he has gone for the Luden's Echo, Victor, which means he wants that sweet death ray. And he looks like he's probably going Abyssal Scepter next. So yeah, he wants that sweet magic damage and the burn on his death ray. Alright, so I think it makes a ton of sense for Monash to just slow play this. Sivir does good damage, and in the next, when she hits that static shift, she'll be a legitimate AD carry, right? If you leave Sivir alone, she'll kill your whole team eventually. But the longer it goes, Jinx is just going to get more and more relevant, and Sivir is going to kind of stay the same. There's just no reason for them to take a risk. I mean, what happens if Hecarim gets 3 kills? What happens if they lose a team fight and, Victor gets a double kill, right? That puts them back like 15-20 minutes. Why don't they just slow play?
Well, actually, the ultimate does land, and Morgana's still not going to do anything. The TP comes in though. No kills coming from it, but Chenny really, really low. Toasty is going to go into the backline of Shen. Ultimate comes in. He does not pick up the kill. Good ultimate.
Yes, he does!
Oh, he gets it anyway. Still, the shield not enough. It disappears just barely. And actually, Hugo Louis drops down as well. So now 2 kills for the side of Monash, and only Chenny G going down. They have no smite now, but there's no smite on TPZ as well. So they're looking to take this Baron.
Yeah, Sivir would have to do some real hero mode stuff right here to stop this Baron, which I don't recommend. In fact, I recommend that Evils gets the hell out of Dodge right now, because Diana will pop that bubble real quick.
Kind of grim for
yeah, game 1 for Team Phonezone UNSW, absolutely. But I just want to say, look at that. See, all they did was they just keep putting wards in the enemy jungle. They kept pushing waves, and they played safe and just waited for an opportunity. Eventually, they caught out and forced a fight out of UNSW, a fight that already started on bad terms when they're already 8k behind. And look at that, it was a free Baron, just by being patient, just by putting down wards and being patient.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, TPC really need to start making plays now, but I guess it's kind of a bit too late now. Now you're actually entering the stage where Jinx has got her BT now, looking to build her 4th item, and she's gotten super scary now. She's going to start rolling over your team, especially after that team fight.
It is true, but there will be opportunities, right? Particularly because of Rek'Sai and Hecarim's ability to dive that Jinx, there are going to be chances, but they're going to need something pretty neat, right? They're going to need a really nice catch, or the best flank you ever saw in your life.
Actually, Toasty's running behind Shen here in the top lane, but does no damage whatsoever.
You can't fight him in the wave of buffed minions.
Oh dear.
You just see those minions wreck his life bar?
Wow.
That wasn't Shen, that was minions. Shen was just herp-de-derp through my queue that was relevant 5 levels ago. Right?
Oh no, he has that Sunfire AoE damage standing next to him as well. So, he's got that.
And he's also got you can see the 2 random Omens coming out for Sej and Shen.
Right, they changed the artwork on that. It looks interesting. Yeah.
It's okay. I was hoping to see a Dead Man's Plate on Hecarim, which is the new item that gives move speed, and also gives bonus AD based on how much the move speed is stacked up. So you get a little bit of fun synergy there, and it's still a tank item. So, but we'll see if he goes for it eventually. Of course, we probably won't see because he's like they're gonna lose the game. That's what's gonna happen.
You're heading over for this 4th dragon now as well.
I suspect Monash will either not be getting Diana or not be getting Shen next game.
Yeah, I think the Diana was such a niche pick for them that they were so uncertain. I guess, I don't know, it feels like they weren't ready to play against it somewhat in that early game. And then they don't know how to deal with the Shen split push as well. Well,
yeah,
probably split
exactly.
push, the global pressure, I guess.
Yep.
What would you do there, Ron, if you had Shen running all over the map?
Me personally, type/FF. No, okay, at that point, I would just sit in my base and wait for them to do something dumb. I talked about how UNSW have really good wave clear, and they do. It'd be better if Victor had, you know, a bit more gold, but, you know, it happens. They've still got decent wave clear, and Sivir has doubled down on the wave clear with the static Shiv, and is probably building a Last Whisper, which makes a lot of sense considering all that armor. And we already know that Monash want to dive. They want to dive, right?
Yep.
They're good at it. They want to dive. So I personally would just turtle up. I would only go out if I had to stop the 5th dragon and just wait for them to do something stupid.
We're inching so close to that 5th dragon now, though. So, you know, you must be wondering what they're thinking in their heads right now. Thinking, oh, geez, we gotta either go for this risky fight, stop the dragon, or try and figure out how to make a pick right now. But Monash has so much vision.
No choice. They have to stop the dragon.
Yeah. So Monash have so little vision. I mean, so much vision in their jungle as well, so they can just see where they're running around.
The warding from Monash has been spectacular, actually.
Yeah. Especially after around that mid game, and they had the map control and the advantage. They just went ham on it, and actually, PPZ actually setting up this death bush here in spot lane. But I don't think Monash is gonna fall for it. Kind of spidey sensed it out.
Here's the other thing, right, that I was going to say, but now I am forgetting. I guess it doesn't matter. Either way, I'm really disappointed in how badly the Victor pick went. Maybe this is, maybe they were expecting the Victor and they were predicting Diana, either some sort of counter in their own minds, or maybe just, as you said, Victor just wasn't ready.
Oh, our Decimate does so much damage to Chris there. Chris forced to pop the barrier. The Shen ultimate coming out, though. Chris so low now, and they're going to go force this turret too. Look how much damage they do to it. Turret goes down, the taunt comes down onto Tosis. It's a 2v3 situation right now. Sivir on the hunt comes out, 4v2 now. The Super Mega Death Rocket misses. Victor comes out, shut down, coming in from Tosis. Now the rest of the team joins, and Chenny G gets locked up. Hecarim using that ultimate. Using the QSS, but this is going in favor of TPC though. They decided to go for a 2v4 situation. It was probably not the wisest decision. Now Shen's super low. Double kill coming in for the Rek'Sai, and Chenny G just limping away, wondering what were they thinking in that bot lane.
4 for 0.
Oh dear.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. If you watch that fight, I said that if you leave Sivir alone, she will eventually kill your whole team. And while granted he didn't get the killing blows, the only person doing anything to Sivir was in fact Braum. After that initial burst of damage, they just completely peeled off of her, which I'm not sure if it was particularly good play by UNSW or just a misplay by. Look, the whole situation was kind of a misplay by Monash. I mean, granted they got the tower, but look, I mean. You're nearly 10k, or no, you're like 6k ahead, guys. That was gonna happen eventually anyway. Just chill, right? Just chill. Eventually take the base. There's no need to do that stuff. But it's kind of what I said, right? UNSW just needed, they can expect to just turtle and wait for something stupid to happen.
Alright, so I guess even if Monash has had this huge lead, they can't afford to make too many more of those mistakes, especially in this late game when the timers start getting really long too. So,
well, that's right. And
Sivir can push waves pretty hard with all her bouncing boomerangs, right? So if a team fight goes in favor of TPC, how fast do you think they can push down these turrets?
pretty quickly. Ekram with that Triforce is, you know, Victor, Siva, all that wave clear I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
It does a decent job. On the downside, though, I mean, they don't have as much gold. Like, their scorelines are not so great. However, they have been keeping up with
the TP coming in though. Ultimate coming for Alan. Jinx able to get out of there. Everyone. Toasty goes to the back onto Alan. He's gonna take him down. Killing spree for Toasty. And now TP are peeling back. Kenny G super low as well. And Toasty's running around like crazy. Who's doing Louis? Sorry, Diana in that middle bit there. And now they go for the Baron, and once again, another team fight in favor of TPC. I will Decimate trying to go for the split push, so he was able to join the fight quite late after TP.
Chris or Derek, like, owes Huey, Dewey, Louie, like, a beer or something, or like a, I don't know how old these guys are. So, like, a pizza maybe? Because that knockup just completely shut down the ult from Diana, but the TP goes, the inhibitor goes down anyway.
Yeah.
Probably worth it, actually, for UNSW. Especially though, if they have to get this dragon. It's all for naught if this dragon goes.
Yeah, 25 seconds to go.
And they got super minions pushing their bot lane as well, so they have to clear this wave right now and get on over there, because it will not take a 7-2 Jinx, 7-2 Diana and a 3-2 Jinx more than a couple of seconds to kill the dragon.
This is looking pretty grim for them, but yeah, now they're setting us up. We will get this bloodbath. They have to force this now. Monash forcing TPC in a bad situation. See if they can make a nice pick here. They're going to go deny the vision. And actually, the snare coming out onto Shen. He gets to water down. Toast now using the ultimate. Kenny G in the front line, though. He gets chunked down super. He gets caught in front up. And now the knockouts come out. Shut down. Coming in for King Alex. Untouched in that backline. The super minute death weapon comes down. Double kill actually going over for Evils. And now Alex still in the back by himself, though. 3v2 situation. Shen is super low. The QSS come a triple kill coming in for Siva. And now they take the ace as well and the dragon. Another perfectly played team fight by TPC. Only 2 people going down, and it's the front line.
That could have actually been even better. But unfortunately, Toasties wasn't able to ult into Jinx like he was last time. The softest person he was able to catch in his ult was actually Diana, who's not actually that soft. So it may, like, there's a good chance that fight would have gone even better had he managed to get that same ult off that he had last time, which put him right in front of Jinx. Jinx has nowhere to go. That Hecarim burst is really quite high.
Oh, you get an inhibitor and 2 turrets out of it, so that was really good.
For the first time this game, UNSW are ahead in gold and kills.
Yeah, there's those 2 strangely played team fights by Monash caused this to happen, and now anyone's game once again, Ron.
Yeah, somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes, a game of League of Legends broke out.
Yeah, that's what happened. And now this is going to be an even more interesting fight, because the next fight probably will be the game, to be honest.
Potentially.
And yeah, both teams have their inhibitors down, and there's no more objectives, so we're looking to see it probably, I guess, from in terms of both sides, probably be playing it slow or looking for some picks here.
Yeah. If Monash don't let their nerves get to them, right? Like, they've lost, like, what, 2-3 fights in a row? That's gonna hurt your confidence. But, look, man, just hang out, keep farming, you're cool, it's chill. That 5th dragon will be back up in a couple minutes. You know what, so will Baron. Like, there's no need to, like, sure, that sucked, but if we get one or both of these objectives, we'll probably win the game. There's no need to panic. Let's just take it slow, defend our mid lane, well, defend our side lanes, but clear our mid lane, keep wards on those objectives, and it's fine.
And for the side of TPC, though, are they looking to try and make some picks, or just wait for Monash to make another mistake and get the nerves get to them?
Okay, I don't know what's going on in the mind of TPC. Like, I've been unclear on that all game, to be perfectly honest. Because they've made some interesting calls. I think they want to keep the momentum, right? They want to keep it up a little bit. Like, okay, granted, they don't need to play it fast either, right? They really don't. But if they do, if there is a time to strike in terms of psychology, it's now. When Shen is like, oh man, I died the last two or three fights, he might run a little earlier than he normally does, which means the whole domino effect goes down. If you can break the will of your opposition, just you know, make them play afraid, make them start playing not to lose rather than playing to win. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then you generally you've won the game, even from a position like this. So I think if they win one more team fight, even by a close margin, it may just break Monash for this game. That being said, if Monash can just relax, like I said, and farm, get their feet back under them, they're in a perfectly fine position to win this game.
Okay. Well, I guess the pressure hopefully doesn't get to them, and they can roll this out on a like a I don't know, a Segway. What's kind of slow?
It's like they're gonna go get their luggage from the airport.
Oh yeah, that there you go. But yeah, if they have the patience to get their luggage, then they should be all right. But if they start getting to them and then start complaining and it's becoming one of those annoying people that go and complain at the customer service desk and, you know, making things worse for them, then things aren't going to look pretty.
You've done some jobs you didn't enjoy in the past, I take it.
Yes, yes. It's always customer service that's always gets to me, you know. Sometimes you can just deal with them, like when a customer calls you and they have an issue.
Somebody's gonna have to deal with something because that snare just landed.
And actually, Chenny G locked up, but he's pretty tanky. He's only gonna take about a quarter of his health down now. But yeah, just Monash just walking back, saying we should all be all right. Just
wisely, both teams back away. UNSW not quite willing to commit to a court Sejuani.
Yeah, and now we have those timers ever so slowly inching closer, and apparently Mike's muted or something according to chat, but I don't think so.
I'm not too sure about that one, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, either way, they're still watching an exciting game of League of Legends.
Yep. Despite not hearing our fantastic voices, they are still observing a nice game. And this is a very, very tense game, actually. So now both teams thinking, we should, you know, find out, feel our opponents, see if they make any mistakes, and hopefully we don't make any too many strange positional errors, and we should be good. Actually, now the on the hunt gets dropped, digged up by herself. She gets knocked up. Alan now, she's taking that Shen ultimate. Necro now, the Jimmy comes in, gives everyone. Bomboy goes down. Literally just goes down. Goes down, comes into that backline. Alan uses the QS and who goes down the side of Monash. The taunt comes out on the Toki. I will decimate. Uses that hourglass. She goes down as well. Tosis still alive, walking out of there. Now it's a 2v4 situation now, and Alan still alive, but TPC once again finding the pick, threading the needle, and they get another advantageous team fight for them, and they're going for this inhibitor, and possibly either the game or looking to delay it a bit further and hope Monash do make more mistakes.
That's the beauty of the...
Oh shit! Missing that flash taunt though, and he's gonna get caught in that gravity field, caught to half health. But they're not. They do save the inhibitor though. They do ping the dragon, and once again the 5th dragon gets delayed for the side of Monash.
This has got to be starting to get to them by now. This is what I'm talking about, just the sheer team fighting prowess of the UNSW composition. Like, Siva makes everybody in that team better, right? I mean, granted, move speed is always a positive, but she's relevant and affects every single member of her team with that on the hunt. Yeah. You'll notice on that same token, right? Morgana has built both Talisman of Ascension and Righteous Glory because move speed is so good for their team.
Oh boy, do not want to be by yourself in that situation, mate. You don't want to cost the team another kill. And now the vision getting laid down for Baron, possibly a Baron fight quite soon, or some sort of death brush getting set up. Teams kind of inching back and forth between each other.
So I want to make note that Huey Dewey Louie has picked up that Elixir of Iron on the Rek'Sai, hence why she is so gigantic right now.
Actually, the Baron's starting too. Oh, yeah, keep going, Lon.
No, this makes a lot of sense. This is really important. They're peeling off, but they didn't have to do that. The thing is, they don't have vision of the Diana. They don't have vision of the Shen. They don't know where they are. Now, granted, Diana and Shen both have TP/ult, but there's nothing where they can easily get into Baron pit. They think it's a whole team right there. They've got nowhere to know that Diana's actually recalling right now.
They did. This probably would have been free Dragon. Free Baron, sorry.
That's exactly right. I mean, granted, she can TP back, but she would still be stuck where, like, off to the side there.
They do ping the mid inhibitor though, so they look like they're going to force this mid lane up and try and brute force their way through. Which, I don't know. Is that the best call here, Long?
Okay. If they're gonna make this play, they need to ward the sides of the lane. So, over near wolves, and like this bush here, you know, in between like raptors and the buff camp, right? Because if Sejuani gets off a flank, right? If Sejuani gets into your back line, ults your Victor and your Sivir, that's probably the end of the fight, right? So if UNSW, you know, Phonezone are planning to full rush forward, they have to make sure their flanks are guarded, because as both of these teams benefit really heavily from the flank. If Shen can go in from the front at the same time that Sejuani comes in from the side or the back, it makes things really difficult for a UNSW, like with Victor locked up, with, you know, Sivir locked up, both of these guys with a giant pig girl on their face, right? Like
well,
like,
Eagles does have that QSS though, but probably not the best situation for Chris though.
No, I mean he can throw down that gravity field, but it's not enough gravity. All right, like physics less than magic. I'm sorry.
Well, if you start incorporating too heavy gravity into this game, Lon, you'll be making some weird physics in this game, and you know, sometimes physics in this game is not always on point. Like when you try to jump through a wall and doesn't quite go through.
Also, back in the day when, like, you know, you get teleported around the map by doing stuff, or if people hit you with 2 knockups at once, and you just go flying like the distance of a nocturnal.
Interesting interactions, especially like if you're starting TP and you get hooked all the way back from the other side of the map. I've actually seen that. Someone Bs and then they get hooked by a Blitzcrank, they get hooked all the way back from their base. Interesting, funny stuff. It
is. Look at this. Okay, so this is nice movement from UNSW. They saw that Monash were threatening the Baron, because they were threatening the Baron, and that means they've outmaneuvered them a little bit. They've gotten in between the inhibitor and the Baron. So, okay,
they're setting up from the back though. Shen ultimate comes out for Island Detonation. Shenny G in the middle of everyone though. This team fight all over by Alice, actually right in the back there. He's only sitting next to Toasties, and he's going to auto attack. Meanwhile in the front, everyone goes down though, and here he goes. Alice still trying to cut his way through Toasties. He's able to do so much damage. Double kill coming in for Evils, and once again a team fight in favor of TPZ, and only Shen alive in this team fight. Toasties going to go straight for the inhibitor, and looking like they will probably end this game here. They got 50 seconds to 60 seconds on timers, and TPC using that patience, waiting for Monash to make mistakes over and over again, and able to inch their way back into this game. First game goes to TPC in the best of 3.
I want to say, big shout out to Evils for that just excellent team fight positioning.
Yeah, he was just auto attacking in the back there. But granted, Alad also did a very nice job to try and kill for his, I guess, auto attack. But Toasty's all up in his face. He couldn't do too much in that team fight. Meanwhile, Evil's auto attacking everybody on the other side. Even
with the exhaust, even with the Braum stun, it's the difference between a hyper carry who's having to try and protect herself from you know, a big scary horseman who's very tanky and does quite a lot of damage, versus a non-hyper carry, just a, you know, generic mediocre carry. Mediocre is the wrong word. Like just a standard level of carry who doesn't have to defend herself and is just free to auto as much as she wants. Look, Alad played well, but his team was not able to protect him against the Hecarim because you can't stop Onslaught of Shadows. When Hecarim ults, like, what are you going to do?
Yep.
Cleanse it? Well, alright, great, whatever.
Anyway, Lon, that's game 1. We'll be back very shortly. Hopefully, Monash, that loss may have been a hard loss, but hopefully it doesn't get to them in the rest of the series and they can pick themselves up. It's just one game. Remember, it's a best of 3, so they still got 2 more games to go. And yeah, we'll be right back with game 2 very, very shortly.